Hello and welcome along to day 3, round 3 of the CIB Egyptian Open 2025. It's our first diamond event on the PSA Squash Tour, and our venue is the Great Pyramids of Giza here in Cairo. It's a fabulous evening. The sun's just about to go down. It's just gone 6:30 local time, and this is our preview show to the 4 matches that we'll see this evening here on day 3. So last 16, we whittle the players down from here. Sourav Ghoshal and Joey Barrington are in the studio with us here. Sourav, of course, a former world number 10. Joe, I think you got as high as world number 24, I believe, in your squash career. I did. Fountain of knowledge, of course, for our squash fans. So let's just get your opening thoughts on what we saw yesterday on day 2. We're going to reflect on some of those matches today, and then we'll look ahead to some on day 3.
Yeah, I think it was a good start to the glass court action for the first diamond event of the season. The seeds kind of got through as we expected. Some of them, very, very in, cutting butter through a knife. Cutting butter with a knife. And
it's actually like a knife through butter.
Like a knife through butter.
Yeah.
Okay. And
but it's a good one.
but a few kind of feeling their way in, and again, not unexpected. But today we're into the last 16. You expect that there are going to be a few more tussles, a little bit more drama, some more emotion, which is exactly what we want, and I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Joey, did yesterday meet your expectations?
It did, yeah. I got the predictions all right. It was 3-love all the way. There was a narrow one with Georgia Adley and also with Nick Wall and Diego Elias. But yeah, I've got those through. I thought it was going to be straightforward last night, I have to say.
It wasn't straightforward for everybody yesterday. We lost some big names, including Yao of Malaysia and also Mohammed ElShorbagy of England. Both those players out of the tournament. That was a big surprise to lose both of those early on yesterday.
100%, and I think both are at very different stages of their career. With Mohammed ElShorbagy, I think you're going to have certain phases in the season, certain weeks where he's probably not going to be the player that we know from all these years, but he's going to have weeks where he's going to be very, very good, and I think that's what he's counting on, that those weeks outnumber the weeks that he's not that good. But having said that, I think you have to give credit to Abdullah Tamimi for the way he played. He was sharp, he took his chances. He's been in those positions before, and he's kind of not been able to convert and made some silly errors. And
well, sorry, Sourav. I mean, Abdullah, when you think about it, he has beaten Paul Coll before. He had some poor form in this last phase, but
played well in London as well last week.
Yeah, no, it's good to see him coming back into it. Important for Qatari squash because he's a massive talent.
Yes.
But he has proven to beat people, and obviously Mohammed is starting to really hit the middle part of his 30s, and he was impressive in London, Mohammed. But for him now, it's backing up those performances, tournament after tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with Yao, look, I think it's a hard loss for him, but Karim El-Torki is not a bad player. He's a good player, and he's proving that he's very good moving forward. So Yao will be disappointed, but he's a fighter. I've played him enough times to know that, and he's going to come back strong. So I don't think we should discount him just yet.
You mentioned the importance for Qatar as a country of having a player like El Tamimi. We're there next on the squash tour. That's our next platinum event is in Qatar. So I mean, even more pressure on his shoulders.
No, I mean he deals with it well. He's one of these players that does perform well in his own backyard. That's where he beat Paul Coll, and he's had some real tussles with other players. So he does love playing in Doha. But I would like to see him performing better outside of Qatar, which hopefully will do, and get in the mix for the Olympics. And it's another country, it's pretty special to see someone who's made history in his own right. But just quickly on Yao, I would just say that he beat Marwan ElShorbagy. He was lacklustre against Paul Coll at London Classic, and now he's lost here. I mean, he's got a lot of work to do mentally for me. There's a lot of physical attributes there, but he's got a lot of mental work to do to try and believe that he can back up and beat people on a regular basis.
Just want to put the microscope on Mohammed ElShorbagy just a little bit more. He's had 4 appearances at the Egyptian Open. The stats don't make for that impressive reading for a player of his caliber. Why has he struggled here in Egypt? The best of those results in 2021, finishing as a runner-up, losing in the final to Ali Farag by 3 games to 2. But he hasn't delivered on what used to be home sand.
I mean, when you look at the years, so Mohammed now is he'll be 35 in January. He's a Capricorn, he's an old goat. And I mean, when you look at the years there, that's coming to the final phase. There was a monumental battle with Ali Farag in 2021, and he has come off the ball that bit more as his ranking has slightly dropped. He's still inside the top 10. the 2019 Egyptian Open, which was played for the first time in years, and that was Gawad taking out Farag. Now he wasn't here. He was either injured or there was another issue, him getting into Egypt, whatever it is. But he didn't play it. So I mean, when you look at it, I don't think it's to make a massive deal out of the Egyptian Open, and I don't think he'll be particularly gutted that he hasn't won it because of what he's done with his career anyway, Sir.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know, he's one of those people who treasure the world #1 spot more than the world championship win.
Yeah.
Because I've had conversations with him where I've asked him when he hadn't won the worlds that you think, you know, if you don't win the world championships, you feel like you haven't achieved something, or, you know, is there something else that you would like to do? And he's like, man, ever since I was young, all I wanted was the world #1. So it doesn't matter. Of course, it would be nice to have the world championships, but the world #1 is what I want. And I think he would obviously love to have the Egyptian Open in that trophy cabinet of his, which is very, very rich.
Maybe the kitty even.
Yeah.
I mean, his kitty. I mean,
yeah, he's got everything pretty much, right? But I don't think he's going to be losing sleep over the fact that he's not won the Egyptian Open.
Joe, do you think he'll lose sleep over that?
No, not at all. No, he's he's obsessive about breaking records.
Yeah,
Egyptian
appearances,
Open.
he's broken that record.
You know, with all due respect, you have to look through. A lot of people won't remember Gawad winning, you know, in 2019 when he was actually called into his match by Robert Edwards when it was actually the women's match. Ali Farag was in the car park, but we won't go into that one. That was quite
go
a
on,
funny
tell
situation.
us what happened there.
The MC, Robert Edwards, called on, the women were coming on, Nicole David, and he actually called the men's match on. Ali Farag was just driven into the car park. He was getting his bag out the boot and then suddenly heard his name being roared onto court, and he came legging it. Only took him 2 strides, but he realised he wasn't on, and it was actually the women that had been called on with the men's names. So a bit of a nightmare, really. But just going back to that, yeah, I mean, he's obsessed with breaking records. World #1, months and weeks at world #1, top 10, amount of events played, amount of, you know, I mean, he's just surpassing
amount of
everything.
weeks spent, I think, inside the world's top 10
so
as well.
I think now he's going for like 15 years inside the top 10.
Yeah.
Right, I think that's like his next big aim, probably. You know, if I can get to 15 years, which is unreal, really, if you think about it.
Well, I mean, when you think,
did he have a career for 15 years?
Yeah, no, I mean, I started very late, but when you think about what you're going to speak about next, I mean, that's 15 years. You're looking at 2 years older than that, 17. But I'll let you get into that.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Paul Coll out of the tournament as of yesterday. It was a shock defeat. He lost to the young 17-year-old Adam Hawal. This was the moment that it happened. Is it a player of Paul Coll's caliber losing out in that fashion?
No, you don't. And the rackets definitely took a big beating from both sides, one in jubilation, one in absolute disgust and frustration. And you can understand that from Paul. I mean, he's had a very, very good start to the season in London, played pretty well to win another gold event in London. He seems to love playing in London.
Started that match well as well. He
started the match well.
Very in control after the first.
Exactly, and then for whatever reason, he kind of lost control of it. And, you know, in their own backyard, the Egyptians just believe. You know, they believe that they can pretty much beat anyone. And sometimes it's not just about your ability. It's about how much you believe. And he might be 17, but, you know, he's got Kareem Darwish in his corner now. Kareem Darwish makes you believe if he believes. And this guy just believed, and he's pulled off, arguably, the greatest upset in squash history. I mean, 252 in the world. He lost the British under-17 junior final this January.
Yeah.
Did not make the World Junior Under-19 team for Egypt, and he's just gone and beaten Paul Coll, who's 3 in the world. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable.
He's got a hell of a win rate. I mean, he's 72% already. So, I mean, he's Curtis Malik and obviously Paul Coll. I mean, Curtis Malik previously to that, 32 in the world. That would have been seen as a massive result, you know, before he even took to the court with Paul Coll. But, you know, bizarre seeing the match point there that we saw, not returning the serve in that way, misjudging that. I mean, I'm not really seeing. I don't think I've ever seen a player of that caliber kind of not being able to return a serve. So I don't know what kind of happened to him, really.
You're a bit of an old goat of Squash TV, at least.
Well, I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. It, you old goat.
What are you? What's your...
Aries. How about you?
Really?
Yeah. Leo.
I'm a Leo, yeah.
Yeah.
You're an Aries.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that.
Yeah, that's why we often butt heads. Anyway, if you put this into context for us, this is huge, isn't it? I mean, this has never really happened, as Sourav was alluding to there. This is like the biggest thing that's really ever happened, the biggest loss for any player, isn't it? 252
no, it's massive. I mean, I was
world
trying to,
number 3,
you know,
249 world places between them.
I mean, that's amazing on the maths, the way you said the world places as well, which never heard it described as world places, but that's interesting. But yeah, no, I mean,
I was too busy working out the maths.
I'm just trying to think of like an amateur player that might have beaten, you know, one of the pros, the top pros. I mean, it's extraordinary. And the fact that he's a teenager, you know, the fact that he's 17 years of age. I mean, he does look a lot older than that. I'm sure he is 17, but he's so well developed. He's a real powerful player like some of these Egyptians, but amazing. I mean, it's great to see how he's going to back up, you know, here. I mean, the world's his oyster, really, and coming up to the pyramids, it's exciting.
We'll find out tomorrow. He'll take on Faris Suzuki in tomorrow's last 16 matches. I did manage to catch up with Adam earlier, poolside at the hotel. Lovely young man. Let's find out a little bit more about him. Adam, congratulations. It's the morning after the big victory against Paul Coll. How are you feeling this morning?
Still this thinking, but yeah, very, very good. I'm very sore too, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible result. It's arguably one of the biggest shocks ever on the PSA squash tour.
I just like at the morning yesterday, I was like, fake it until you make it. I was like, it's okay. Yeah, Paul is like a great player, amazing person on and off court, and like I grew up watching him. So I was like, it's a privilege to play with him, but I'll give it my all. I'll give him respect, but I will not try to give him more respect. So like, I would just like try to forget who I'm playing with, and just play my squash, and it paid off very well.
You must have had a load of messages as well from family and friends that were all watching.
My phone is lagging now. Well, like I just like I message the close friends only, and like I'll message the other guys, but not today because I have so much today going on. I have practice and things like that. So yeah.
Tell us a bit about your squash journey. You're part of the Wadi Degla club, and so who's your coach there, and how did you get into squash? I mean, you're just 17 years of age.
I started squash at 7. My parents are those who introduced me to squash. They were playing, not professional. Then at 7, I just fell in love with squash. I was playing gymnastics too. I was like number 1 on Egypt, and then 9, and I played swimming. I was so good in it too, and I was terrible at squash at 7. But I chose it, and I retired the other 2 because I really love squash. And look where it made me look.
I know, look where you are now. I mean, and Kareem Darwish, I believe, is coaching you these days?
So today, now I'm in Wadi Degla. It's been my home club. I've been playing there for the past 4 years. I had a quick transfer between now and then. Now head coach is Kareem Darwish. I play with him in Degla. I have my other coach too, Nouran Arabi. He's my coach in Degla too. And my fitness is there. Everything is there. Like, it's a very good facility. It's a very good club. You know, every legend is from there. RD3, Nouran was there. Hanya's still there. You know, so I just like I'm playing among the legends. Seeing them is something very big to me. Like, you know.
And obviously now you get the chance to play on the glass court in front of the pyramids against Faris Suzuki.
I can't believe it. I can't still remember me coming and you introducing the players to go inside court when I was young, watching them in the pyramids. I now get to be one of these players and play in front of fans and crowds. Like, best thing ever, you know. Well, yeah.
What are your memories of watching those tournaments in front of the pyramids? Who were the players that you sort of aspired to be and looked up to?
Ali Farag.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe he's retired. I really wanted to play with him on an official match, but I didn't get this honor. I played with him practice matches. Smacked me. I couldn't keep up the pace. Yeah.
Maybe we can get him out of retirement and you can have
yeah, for sure. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, I was like coaching Ali, especially to Tariq. I love him so much. He's like my role model. Very amazing squash, you know, the best backhand ever I've seen. There were many battles in front of the pyramids. I can't just choose one of them because like there are lots of battles, lots of bad calls. I remember the crowd shouting. Yeah, like that. But the vibes there is something else. like you're playing in front of your ancient pharaohs, ancient grandparents. So it's like it's a privilege. I can't believe it still.
We can't wait to see you out on the glass court. I mean, you've beaten Curtis Malik, you've beaten world #3 Paul Coll. Now you have the opportunity to take some chunks out of Faris Dasuki. Can you beat him tomorrow?
Hopefully, he's an amazing, tremendous player. I've grown up watching him too, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a great battle. I'll give it my all, and I hope it goes my way.
Great stuff. Thanks very much for the time this morning. Good luck.
Thank you,
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
So Adam Hawal, victorious yesterday against Paul Coll, sends him tumbling out of the tournament. Lisa, your reaction to that interview with Adam? Very, very mature and head on his shoulders.
Yeah, firstly, I absolutely love your beachwear.
Oh, thanks.
Those flip-flops are doing wonders.
Yeah, I'd come straight from the gym.
That
That is a massive lie.
That's such a lie.
Yeah.
Foam rolling.
Yeah, foam rolling. That's what I do.
Secondly, what does he watch on Netflix? His English accent is bang on.
Yeah.
Probably period dramas, I think.
Yeah, probably.
so.
Something historical. Yeah, I mean, Paul Coll going out like that is obviously a big shock, but also not a surprise in a way, because that was a big high that he was on. He won obviously just last week in London. You would have thought he was definitely going to get through that, but it's hard to manage emotions like that. I mean, we saw how fired up he gets when the Kiwis are there, and he was quite evidently flat from start to finish and just couldn't find a way. That's a surprise. You'd think that a player of Paul Coll's standard, regardless of who he's playing, can find a way with someone of a ranking like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting how his confidence comes in after this, because the tournament's coming thick and fast with Qatar and US Open and then Hong Kong. There's a bit of a gap between Hong Kong, but he might be playing some of the smaller ones. But he's going to have to get his head together, because I mean, it is such a shock. I mean, to win an event like London Classic and then have that. So he'll be doing some mental work and getting ready for Qatar. It's going to be a long wait for him, though.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the order of play for today. These are the 4 matches that we've got coming your way. We're into the last 16. So first up, Nouran Gohar, the world #1, up against Nader Abbas. That's a repeat of last year's semi-final in this diamond event. Mustafa Asal, the defending champion, takes on Ali Abu El Ainen, and it's Salma Hani takes on Hania El Hamami in the second women's match of the evening, and it's Mohamed Zakaria against Joel Makin. Now, the context here is that if Joel Makin makes it through to the semi-final stages, he will leapfrog Paul Coll for world #3. So
I mean, there's a big difference there.
huge. That's a great opportunity.
It is. I mean, you know, 3 and 4. It doesn't change the draws, as I said yesterday, but he'll be wanting to be #3 and then #2 and hopefully #1. But no, it's great for Joel Makin, but he's got to get past a very dangerous young man with red hair.
Yeah. Okay, well, we look forward to that. That's the last match of the evening tonight. The first match of the evening, though, features Nouran Gohar, the world #1, the Terminator, who makes her 500th appearance on the PSA Squash Tour with us this evening. You can see where she ranks there in the all-time appearances. Rachel Grinham top of that list with 822. Nicole David, 700. We'll take out a few of those. Laura Massaro, 547. Nour El-Shabini, who is at this tournament, 543. We'll just put in there the major titles won by those players as well, just to highlight some of Nouran's success. So what do those stats and facts tell us, Joey?
Well, I mean, you look at that there and you see the titles. So 822. I just wanted to make an announcement. Chris Gordon, who joins us on Squash TV, he'll be at the US Open, is looking to surpass Rachel Grinham as the.
What's he on now?
He's very close. If not, he might have gone past that. We'll get the.
Are you serious or
no,
not?
no, I am being serious. I wouldn't say something as outlandish as that. But anyway, we're talking about the women here, not Flash Gordon. And I mean, when you look at 61 major titles for Nicole David, I mean, that's pretty sweet. The 7 titles there for Grinham. Big difference, and then of course the 20 titles, you know, that are going for the players at the moment, and the level that's being played at the moment. I don't want to take anything away from Rachel Grinham and those records, but I mean, the level that's going on is a joke, and she's hardly lost to anyone, particularly last season. I mean, she's only lost to Shabini and El Hamami. She hasn't lost to anyone outside.
Yeah, I think it's a very good point to make. The depth on the women's tour is ridiculous. It's the best that it's ever been in years. That's a great list of legends, so I'm sure like Shabini and Gohar will be ecstatic that they're on that list near the top. And what's cool is that they're still young. They've got so many years left to play if they want.
Yeah.
And who knows where they can finish. I'm actually thinking Gohar will finish higher than Shabini when I look at that list, to be honest.
What makes you say that from what you've seen of her career so far? Still a long way.
The body,
Yep.
how she moves. how much her physicality is still improving. I think that her movement is getting better every season. Shabini's obviously had a lot of injuries. She's had a few surgeries. She's on the different kind of end of that, and just I feel, I don't want to sound harsh, but I kind of feel like Shabini's hanging on, and I want her to prove me wrong this season with that. I called it that I thought that would be her last ever World Championship title that she would take the last time. I'm going to stand by that until she proves me wrong this season, but that's why I'm saying I think Gohar's going to surpass that, as she's got years in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, Gohar, I think what will be the test for Gohar is the mental application of churning out what she's doing, you know, the Terminator, but I think physically I agree with Lisa that she's in great shape. She hasn't put her body through it as much as Nouran Shabini has, who's slightly older, only slightly. But I feel
she is. I think you were talking about yesterday as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nouran Shabini was competing at the highest level at 14, 15 years of age, and she's now 29, and that's an equivalent to probably being nearly in her mid to late 30s, really, the amount of matches she's played and how tough it's been. But it's going to be the mental motivation for Gohar. You know, she was chasing a World Championship title that she's finally got, so that's one to tick off, and the fact that she's just so focused. I don't know if she can keep going like that, but maybe she can. But it's more the mental side rather than the physical side for Gohar.
That's never kind of faltered at all, though, has it, since she was like 14 and burst onto the scene? That's always been there. It doesn't seem like that's something she struggles to tap into.
I mean, she might be if she starts getting put under pressure by the likes of Orphy and the others coming through, because that will happen. And then obviously El Hamami could also get up there in those. You know, she's got an opportunity to get some matches under her belt in the next 10 years.
Yeah, and we'll see Hania in our third match of the evening. So let's just remind you what happened yesterday in Nouran and Gohar's match. A complete obliteration, really, of Hannah Moataz. A 3-love victory for her in round 2 to book herself in round 3 tonight. What takeaways did we take from yesterday's performance from Nouran Gohar?
I really liked the way she started the match, actually. Obviously, she's dropped a game to Hannah Moataz last time they played, so she was going to be dialed right in. But I loved the approach. She wasn't coming out full Terminator mode, blasting the ball around, using a lot of power. She was more thinking about the space and the tempo that she wanted to play. She was hitting the ball a lot softer. She was hitting lovely areas of the court, stretching out the movement of Hannah Moataz, and really dialed in from a shot selection point of view rather than a power point of view. And that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing tonight, because she's going to play a similar player in the form of Nada Abbas. What I mean by that is they both hit the ball very, very hard, as does Hannah Moataz. So I think the tactics will be pretty similar tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, the conditions are obviously warmer outside.
A bit windier tonight as well.
It's a little bit windier, but the fact that she was so calculated and smooth is going to put her in good stead, because if she does need to then start ramping things up, she can later in the event. It's good to see her kind of measured. It's a measured performance, focused performance by her.
Last time they met, for everyone at home, Egyptian Open 2024, they did meet here. Abbas got sort of annihilated in that one, 3-love, 38 minutes. But then the last time that they met, it was actually a much closer affair, 3-1 at the Palm Hills Squash Open. So maybe just your memories of that and what Nada Abbas can bring to the table today to be more competitive.
I mean, Nada Abbas, she's improving a lot. She's been working on a game a huge amount, and she's getting a lot more kind of aggressive, I would say. She's technically very, very good. She always has been. She's one of the smallest players on the women's tour, but she's making up for that with. I mean, she's taller than Surav, but she's making up for that with her power and aggressive play. She's going to have to be measured out here as well. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think Gohar's far too focused and in such a good zone. I don't think it could be anyone who she's playing, and she's going to get a tough time.
Yeah, I think it'll be a similar scoreline, if I'm honest. But just moving back to the point about Nada Abbas, I felt like her season last year was split into two. From January, when she was in Houston, she was a different player, and it was her squash IQ. It was how she was thinking about the game, how she was thinking she wanted to tactically execute. As Joey said, she's technically very astute. She's a brilliant mover. She's one of the fastest players on tour, but it was the brain. It was how dialed in she was and how she was thinking about constructing the rallies that made her more mature as a player last season.
We saw the defending champion in action as well yesterday, ElShorbagy. It was a little bit tougher for her in her round 2 match, but she still safely navigated her way past Scotland's Georgia Adderley. A 3-love victory and a great performance from Georgia Adderley.
This was the best I've ever seen Georgia Adderley play, and fair play, because you're playing against ElShorbagy, and it's very easy to go on that court and it just be a bit of a whitewash, particularly in Egypt. First round, it's the first time she's played on an outdoor glass court as well. Tactically, I thought she got it right. She stepped up the court, she was trying to hunt down the volley, she was trying to find ways to bring in her physicality into Shabini as much as she can and rush her and kind of make it a little bit physically awkward. And yeah, you have to say there was another gear there that Shabini could have gone into. She wasn't at her best. We've seen that in the first round from her in the past, but for me, this was more of a brilliant performance from Georgia Adderley.
Slow starter sometimes. We were actually catching up with Amanda Sobey poolside this afternoon, and she's saying if you get Nour ElShorbagy early on, before the quarterfinals or the quarterfinals, that was when she was taking matches off.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated because she's going to be coming up against Amanda. You know, she's got Amanda. The conditions here will help Amanda in terms of the heat. Will be good for her body, get her moving. It'll be a bit bouncier for her, and she's beaten Shabini before. So,
and the big three more than anything.
Yeah, Shabini's got to up her level from yesterday. Georgia played superbly well, I agree, and her forehand side was brilliant. The Scot, she played really well. But I just feel that Amanda Sobey is going to cause a few problems tomorrow. Shabini's going to need to be on her mettle. She's going to need to be in that extra gear against Sobey.
She can look relaxed, Nour ElShorbagy. I know everyone sort of wrote her off for the World Championship, her 8th World Championship.
Not everyone. I didn't.
Did you not?
No, I went.
A lot of people were saying she wasn't doing that, and she just turned it around and got better and better.
You can never write her off, particularly when it comes to World Championship. She could be playing on one toe and still probably get a title. So, you know, I didn't, and she can produce those performances. She is a player that can play, have a few losses, shot losses. She lost to Siva Subramaniam in the London Classic in 2024, and then she bounces back and wins a major. We didn't necessarily expect her to come out and win the Egyptian Open last year after getting married. She hadn't done the training.
Nearly lost to Orphy.
And then she went through 3-2 with Orphy, 3-2 with El Hammami, and then 3-2 with Gohar. And she started the season unbelievably well, taking all those major titles 3 in a row.
That's what we want to see, isn't it, Lisa? That sort of, you know, those close games between these top level players rather than runaway matches.
Certainly from the get-go, from the start of the tournament, you know, there's a lot of people that say that the first couple of rounds are not that worth watching. I completely disagree. On the women's tour, that's not the case. I mean, going back to Georgia, she stretched Shabini to 40 minutes last year. Obviously, she played against Orphy, and it went all the way to the distance. I just want to say, I felt like you got defensive about Shabini there. I'm not writing her off. I'll never write off Shabini, but I'm just not convinced that she can get another World Championship title.
No, I mean,
It breaks my heart to say that.
No, I know. I absolutely adore Nour Shabini.
Well, we'll have to
Sorry,
let's see how the women's top 10 stack up for you next. Just to give you some context, beginning of the season, this is our first diamond event of the year. It's the Egyptian Open 2025, and here's how the top 10 looks currently. You've got their world ranking points there beside their name, but then you've also got the points interval, so we can see where those chasing packs are. So the likes of Olivia Weaver and Amina Orphy in that chasing pack of the big three at the top of the table, and then you've got a sort of secondary chasing pack led by Satomi Watanabe. So just talk us through a bit of this race towards the tour finals, which of course the top 8 qualify for that tour final.
Well, this wasn't the case 2 years ago. I mean, the golf was huge. You know, we talk about the big three, and now every tournament counts, and they'll be watching each other and they'll be looking at each other's kind of averages and everything, because it's chopping and changing. Watanabe had an opportunity in London, she didn't capitalise. She's then under pressure, you know, with the other players coming through. Amanda Sobey will be chomping at the bit. She didn't play in London. She's going to come here and try and cause a bit of a ruckus with Shabini, and Gina Kennedy's now gone out of the event due to being knocked out by Nelly Gillis. So, I mean, all these things, it's brilliant. This is very unique to the women's game, that they're stacking up so much. And the top of the tree with Gohar, who's got a supreme amount of points, it's getting closer and closer, and this is what we want, that everyone's looking at each tournament. They're not thinking, well, I had a bad tournament, but it's okay, I'm way ahead. It's not.
Yeah, I think what's also important to say is now that we've got the diamond tier status,
yeah,
it's really important that the players are picking their tournaments wisely, because you were seeing a lot of players not play platinums, choose to try and play more golds and try and take a title. So paying attention to the points and how they're going to win to get into tour finals and move and kind of bridge that gap between the next players is really, really important.
Great stuff. Thank you very much for this extra bonus 30 minutes on our YouTube channel. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and it's enough to get you over to Squash TV. If you haven't got your subscriptions, squash.tv, head over there now, buy a subscription for this event, for the season, and we'll see you over there very shortly. Thank you to Lisa, thank you to Joey, and thank you to Saurav. We'll see you in a couple of minutes' time on Squash TV.